table is Spider-Man.
Yes. I want to.
Okay. Peter was ready to test his new powers on a British wrestler called Crusher Hogan. Peter was disgusted. Wrestler called Crusher, so Peter was disgusted, so that no one would make fun of him if his plan didn't work. He'd been test in town, and when Peter challenged him, Crusher Hogan laughed. But Crusher soon found that he was very wrong to do so. The man is big.
The man is big. Why? The man
Okay.
is big. I'm scared.
Okay. Peter was paid well for the victory. A man in the crowd even asked him if he'd want to be on TV. Things were going great, plus Peter had his Aunt May and Uncle Ben. At home, his uncle had even saved up for a special microscope that Peter had wanted. Peter was too excited to settle down. He used his new microscope. His chemist tried, set, and his knowledge of science to create a very special food. It had the strength and thickness of a spider's silk. Then he created devices that could spin the food into a web, the same way a spider would. He called them his web shooters. Finally, he designed a sweet new costume. Now all he needed was a stage name. He arrived at one as good as any other. See? Peter got lost thinking about how wonderful his new life would be. He daydreamed about fame and celebrity. And when a security guard called for help down the studio hall, Peter ignored him. The crook that the guard was chasing raced to leave the doors closed, and the chef escaped. But Peter didn't care. He had great power, and from now on, he only needed to look out for one person himself. Peter's TV appearances were a hard hit after all who would be amazed by Spider-Man climbing up walls and swinging from his own webs. Soon, everyone wanted a piece of Spider-Man. Peter was starting to feel important, wanted, and powerful. No one would ever be able to push him around again, not when he had powers like this. It didn't take long for Peter to forget about the guard and the escaped criminal. In fact, by the time he got home, they were the furthest things from his mind. He was just happy. He spared time when he was not studying or home with his family. Peter went out as the famous spectacular Spider-Man. But one night, on his way home from a TV performance, Peter arrived to find something Morris. Peter knew something was terribly wrong, and he was right. His Uncle Ben had been killed by criminals. The police officers told Peter not to worry. They had the crook cornered at an old waterfront warehouse. Peter ran upstairs, put on his costume, and stood for the city to avenge his uncle. Peter was quicker and more furious than ever before. At last, Peter arrived at the warehouse. He landed on the farwall. The chest was stunned, and that's when Spider-Man sprung into action. The crook's hat flew from his head, and Peter finally took a good look at him. Peter felt a heavy weight in his chest. It could be, but it was the man who had killed his uncle was the same man he allowed to escape into life. At the studio, if only Peter had stopped him then, if only he had not acted so selfishly. St. Peter tried up the criminal in a wedding.
What happened?
And the most Peter could do now was prevent him from any of
What?
prevent him from. Peter realized it was not about
Hurting.
money or fame or any of the other rewards. His power could give him. He had finally realized that what his Uncle Ben had told him was true. With great power comes great responsibility.
Great responsibility.
Great responsibility. And that was the rule that Peter Parker lived by from that day forwards. What do you want another story?
You asked Nicko if how's the reading.
Find something in there. You're done?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm sleepy now.
Okay.
How's the
Let's
reading,
go.
Nicko?
Okay, bye. Bye guys. Let's sleep. Come on, Nicko.
Bye.
Let's sleep.